I'm Adam Reilly, and this is the Scrum. Today we're going to talk about Marty Walsh's impending inauguration as Boston mayor and the fact that even though he's going to be sworn in next week, we still don't know who's going to be in his cabinet. How weird is this? Is it just a bit weird or really weird?
I would say it's more than a bit weird. I mean, it might be just moderately weird if we only knew who his his chief of staff would be. Look, it's his honeymoon. I'm sure it'll all be fine, but it strikes me as a Boston voter as a little strange.
You don't sound convinced when you say you're sure it'll all be fine. What about you on a 1 to 10 weirdness scale? What's the weirdness level right now?
Well, it's only about a 3 or 4. But I find it discomforting. I really do. I think that that more than likely, in the end, it will be sort of nothing in the rearview mirror. We'll look back at it as sort of normal part of the process of putting it together. And yes, he kept it private for longer than we would have liked, but but that's assuming that in fact it's all happening smoothly behind the scenes, and that he in fact has most of what he wants in place and is just figuring out something to do with the rollout of how he wants to roll it out.
By the way, during the campaign, a number of times I spoke with friendly people close to the candidate. And they said, look, we've got a lot of people giving a lot of different advice. And, it could be just sorting through all that. He's certainly a listener.
I think that what's a little more problematic, if you sort of separate it out, you've got the cabinet positions, like you mentioned. Those are going to play out over a long period of time. Some of them, maybe housing and public works, he will want to have somebody in place right away. But then you look at something like the fire commissioner, the public school superintendent,
it could be a
many months,
search,
and others are going to fall somewhere in between. So that's going to play out over a long time. But his staff, which is less news making maybe, but is very, very important for running the actual place. A chief of staff, a director of communications, intergovernmental relations people. Those are the kinds of folks who need to be gelling as a team, need to be learning what they need to know during the transition, need to be starting their outreach with the people they're going to be, and that all may be happening.
There could be
There
could be a simple answer to this. No one wants to sit out in the cold in the midst of 6,000 people out at Boston College.
All right, I got to float. We're getting our cut it off signal, but I want to float my tentative theory of Marty Walsh, which it's tentative because he's not yet mayor. But my hunch is that it's taking as long as it is because he likes to please as many people as possible. We saw that in the way he campaigned. We saw it in the way he's done these listening groups since being elected. Is that a possible cause, that he doesn't want to say no to anyone or doesn't want to antagonize or alienate people?
Or he doesn't want the rollout to antagonize people. Maybe maybe he's doing some extra vetting of people. That's taking extra long because he wants to make sure that nothing goes wrong.
In which case, we'll be back next week praising him for.
As I said, he's a good listener.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Peter Kadzis, David Bernstein, thank you as always for scrumming with me. Thank you too, and we'll see you again soon.